Boom, 5150. Today is April 16th, 2018. My birthday.
Happy birthday, Jimmy.
Can you believe it? Okay, this gentleman right here, no need for introductions, but let's just say to make it professional, Scott Carlson from the Super Bees, but also some small bands known as Repulsion, Cathedral, and there we go. But this time, we're talking about Septic Tank. Okay, right off the bat, first of all, Scott, thank you for being here. Thank you for talking to me.
My pleasure.
Septic Tank, this is interesting. This is something that I remember a couple years back that was like dwelling in the underground as this like side project of you guys just kind of fucking around during your off time with Cathedral. Is that correct?
Yeah, it started that way actually in 93, I want to say, or maybe 94. Barry Stern from Trouble, remember? And E-Trope.
Wow.
He used to play drums. He spent a summer playing drums in Cathedral, doing festival dates with us. And the whole thing started with, Lee and Gaz and I had always talked about like getting together and playing some thrashy, Discharge, nasty punk kind of stuff. And Barry was also into that kind of stuff. So when he came over to play with us at those festivals, we booked some rehearsals because he had never played with us before. And he nailed every song in like one take. So we basically had lots of time. We we've got like 3 6-hour blocks of rehearsal booked for the next 3 days. And Barry learned all the songs in like 90 minutes. So now we've got a shitload of time to play with. So we started writing these songs, and we didn't have the name Septic Tank. We just had the concept for the band, and it's a pretty simple concept. It's just all the shit we love from when we were kids, the stuff the real high energy, fucking angry punk rock and grindcore, and the stuff that really,
before the shit had labels.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, grindcore wasn't even a fucking name. I'm just, I've been affected by all these these labels over the years. But it was just all the stuff, the Pus Head, Pus Mort, Cleanse the Bacteria, and all these European bands that were really super fast before anybody else. Larm and Septic. Siege and Crude SS and Inferno and all these amazing bands.
You can't forget Neos either.
Neos, of course,
right?
Yeah. And who I first heard from, Void, of course.
And Discharge.
And Discharge, obviously. They're the gods of the whole thing for me. Anyway, we started knocking these tunes out, and Cathedral was on Sony at the time. So we had these really nice Sony Walkman recorders that were like stereo recorders, like these top-of-the-line Walkmans. And they made really amazing recordings for the time. Probably sound like shit compared to like an iPhone recording now, but at the time it was amazing. So
technology.
Yeah.
At that time.
We recorded all this stuff, and we're like, cool, man, we got like 14 songs in the bank. And then time went by, Cathedral got back together, like, Gaz, play those songs for us. I think I had the recorder on pause the entire time. So we didn't actually have a recording of these songs. So anyway, a very similar situation came up when Cathedral was recording its final album, which I was, I had the pleasure of and the honor of rejoining Cathedral when they were about to make their swan song, the final album and the final tour dates. And when we did the album, which was after all the tour dates were done, I went over to England to track bass, and at the end we had an extra whole day of studio time. And Gomez, our engineer, is a really good drummer, so we were like, let's just fuck around, let's do this thing again, So we started writing songs. And we would write a song and then record it, and then write a song and record it. And over the course of an afternoon, we ended up with 4 songs. And we put those out as an EP in Japan on a 7-inch. And that was it for a while. We always planned on going back to it. The Cathedral album came out. Time passed. A couple years ago. No, 1 year ago. a year and a half ago, whatever, when Sabbath were playing their final show in Birmingham. The last ever Sabbath show in Birmingham. I was like, I kind of want to go to that. So I went over, did the Sabbath gig, and then we went to into the studio and started writing Septic Tank songs. Gaz and Gomez had a few songs worked up, like probably half the material was already worked up. We worked up the rest of it in the studio while we were, just doing it the way we used to do it. Just write a song, record it, which is a really good way to capture that sort of youthful, sloppy punk energy that we wanted. We didn't want it to be too slick. There's an issue when you have like metal musicians playing punk rock. Sometimes it's just a little too
too cleaned up.
Too polished sounding. And if you record the stuff very spontaneously and quickly, you can kind of get that vibe of like a band who are just like struggling to get through the song. And we wanted that feeling in there. So that's the way we recorded this album. It's not that we didn't put any care into writing the material. We just didn't put that much care into making it perfect. We wanted it to be sort of sloppy and rushed and have that energy level that is missing when you think things through too much.